The way you work, what you count as success, how hard you push yourself. You never really chose any of that. You pick these rules up so young that they don't feel like rules. They just feel like the way things are, the way you are. And they can work really well for you. You follow them and the rewards come. The praise from your parents, top marks from your teachers, the promotion at work. The rules keep working, which just confirms they're the right ones, so you never think to question them. Then the context changes, from school to a workplace, from being an individual contributor to being a leader, from being an employee to working for yourself. And the rules that always got you results start giving you less, even when you put in more. Or they still get you the same results and the cost keeps climbing. More hours, later nights, more of yourself poured in just to stay where you are. Nothing's gone wrong with you. The context around you changed, and what it asks of you changed with it. The rules just kept running the same as ever. I'm Anna Lundberg. I work with founders and leaders on exactly this, the scripts that once drove their success and have started getting in the way. I've been rewriting my own scripts for years through every change of context, including from corporate to self-employed, single to a mother of two, so I know from the inside how stubborn they can be. Let me pull apart what's going on underneath, why it happens, why it's so hard to see, and where you get to change it. How does a script you never chose end up running your life? It helps to see the whole thing as a living process, one that feeds back on itself. It starts with your environment, your family, your school, the culture around you, the first places you worked. That environment is always teaching you what's valued and what isn't. Often it says so out loud, it's what your parents and teachers tell you directly. Other times it's just showing you in what your first bosses reward and what gets you noticed. You take it in through experience. The parent who was still working long after you'd gone to bed. The first boss who answered emails at midnight and made it clear they expected the same from you. Moment after moment, each one laying down a rule. Those rules are your scripts. Be across everything. Never let them see you struggle. Always be available. At first, they just sit there as instructions, things you do. But run a script long enough and it stops being something you do and becomes who you are. I stay across everything becomes I'm the reliable one. I sort my own problems out becomes I'm the capable one, the one who doesn't need help. And this is why it's so hard to change. While it was just a rule, a script, you could push back on it. Once it's part of who you are, pushing back feels like a threat to yourself, so you defend it, even when it's costing you. From there, your identity shows up as behaviour, the actual things you do all day. And your behaviour gets you results, the success you are chasing, the recognition, the promotion, the revenue, the reputation. And here's the loop. Those results feed straight back into your scripts. They prove the rule right. You followed it, you got the reward, so the script gets a little bit more locked in. Round and round, tighter each time. Now here's where it starts to go wrong. That whole system was built for one context, and contexts change. You go from school, where there's a right answer and someone to mark it, into work, where nobody's marking your homework and half the rules are unwritten. You go from being the star individual contributor to leading a team, where your job now is to get the best out of other people. You go from employed, with a manager and a structure around you, to working for yourself, where being always on just wears you down. The context changes. The script keeps running exactly as before. And you get one of two outcomes. Either your results start to slip. The thing that always worked stops working and you can't understand why, because you're trying harder than ever. Or the results still come and the price keeps rising. You hit the targets, you're worn out, and it all feels strangely hollow, because it turns out this was never quite what you wanted. And it runs the other way too. Sometimes the world around you stays exactly the same and you're the one who changes. You become a parent, and what you need from your days shifts overnight, but your workplace still wants the version of you who could stay till 9 p.m. and answer emails at the weekend. You reach a point where the goals you set at 25 stop meaning that much to you. But nothing around you has caught up. The same targets are still held up as the thing you want, and you still get rewarded for chasing them. Your own reality moves, and the context around you carries on asking for the old you. Either way, you end up with the same gap. A script running on one side, a reality that no longer matches it on the other. And because the script is now part of who you are, Your first instinct when things stop working is to do more of it. Work harder, grip tighter, reach for the very script that's causing the problem because it's the only move you know. That's how people end up running faster and faster on a track that stopped taking them anywhere that they want to go. Getting out of this loop starts by pulling the script apart from who you are, seeing it for what it is, something you picked up in a particular place, at a particular time, for reasons that made sense then. Then you work out where it came from, which context wrote this one, whose voice is it really, and the big question, does it still fit the life you're actually living now, or is it a rule for a place you left years ago? Some scripts you'll keep on purpose because they still serve you well. Others you get to set down. The whole point is that you're choosing instead of running on autopilot years after the context that wrote the script is long gone. That's the real work, and I built a method for it. I walk through it in the video on the 4 R's, which is in this series, link below. So that's what's going on underneath. Your context writes a rule. That rule or script becomes part of who you are. That identity drives your behaviour gets you results, and those results feed back and reinforce the very script that started it. The whole thing locks in place. It works beautifully, right up until your context shifts, or you do, and the script keeps running regardless. If this is landing, subscribe to my channel because I'm building this whole success script series out piece by piece. There's already a video on the model itself, the 3 circles of behaviour, scripts and identity, and one on the 4 R's, both in the playlist, so watch those next if you haven't already done so. And of course, if you recognise yourself in any of this, it's the work I do with people, whether it's one-to-one or with teams through talks and workshops. There's a link in the description if you'd like to talk. I'll see you in the next one.